living in this area
and home
as
to many that see living in this area
and
as
coexistence
part of a larger
movement.
peace
On
and
this
coexistence
typical
movement.
Shabbat morning,
On this
when people were
typical
sleeping
Shabbat morning,
or out on
when
an early
people were
morning
sleeping,
jog,
a
or out
nightmare
on an
unfolded.
early morning jog,
A nightmare
Hamas violence
unfolded.
spared no one.
Hamas
Babies,
violence spared no one.
toddlers, teens,
Babies,
the elderly,
toddlers,
Holocaust
teens,
survivors,
the
and
elderly,
entire families,
Holocaust survivors,
brutally
and entire
terrorized,
families,
murdered, and
brutally
captured.
terrorized,
Many
murdered,
are
and
still
captured.
unaccounted for. Many
In the
are still
end,
unaccounted
Hamas
for.
kidnapped
In
an
the
estimated
end,
240
an estimated
people,
representing at least
245
people,
nationalities,
representing at least
including
25
10
nationalities,
including
Adon
10
Alexander,
Americans,
a graduate of
Adon
Tenafly
in
High
New
School
Jersey,
in New
was
Jersey,
kidnapped that day.
He was a soldier
He was
in
a soldier in
Ottaf
and his
Aza,
mother had
and his
spoken
mother
to him
had spoken
just
to
that
him
morning.
just that morning.
Here is a video
Here
of
is a video
Adon
of
that his
Adon
family shared with us.
shared with us.
My son
Only
is
19 years
his sister Mika is a senior now in the high school.
just know that he's
alive and is
alive
in Gaza,
and is in
kept
Gaza.
by
You know
Hamas,
that he is.
You know that
They
he is.
told us.
They told
that
us
he's alive.
that
and
he's alive and
he's over there at
he's
Gaza.
over there at
and
Gaza.
cares so much about family and his relationship with our younger brother Roy. And he just will do anything for his friends and anything for his family. And he's just truly like my best friend. You know, I'm 17. He's only 2 years older than me. And I'm patiently waiting for the day that we're going to be reunited again.
With us today is Mika Alexander, Adon's youngest sister. Mika is 17 and goes to high school in New Jersey. When her brother Adon was kidnapped, she was here in the U.S. Since that day, Mika and her family have been doing everything they can to bring Adon home. Mika is here to share with us what she and her family are going through and share a message with all of you. Mika, thank you for coming today. What can you tell us about Adon? How was it growing up as his younger sister?
Growing up as Adon's younger sister, we've always seen how brave he was and how much he cherishes being with family. And when we were younger, we maybe weren't the closest, but as we got older, I started realizing how brave and extraordinary he was. And he always achieved what he wanted, and I will always look up to him till this day.
How did you respond when he told you he wanted to go to Garan Sabar and join the IDF?
I mean, we always knew that his heart was with Israel, and he just always wanted to do something meaningful before he, went to college like his other friends. So this wasn't really a big surprise to us that he wanted to do something for his country and for his family. And as a family, he always puts us first, and he values us so much, and he just appreciates and loves everyone around him, and it's truly inspirational.
I'm sure none of us can imagine what this last month has been for you. Mika, can you please share with us how you're holding up?
Honestly, I've learned how to be patient. Waking up every morning and not knowing what's going on with my brother, it really teaches you a lesson of learning how to stay in tune with yourself and listen to what you need and be able to go around and ask for help. Like, you shouldn't be scared. You should be okay with not being okay. And I learned how specifically to be extremely patient, and it's been paying off.
What would you tell him if you could send him a message right now?
I mean, of course, as you may know, I will tell him that we love him and we love you, and we just really need you to come back. And I know this reunion is going to be insane. Like, talking about this whole experience is just going to be it's going to give me closure, me and the whole family. And yeah.
As we look out and see so many people gather here today, what would you like to say to everyone?
I would just say thank you so much for coming here and supporting this campaign. And we just need to bring Idan and all of the other hostages home now.
Bring them home. Bring them home. Bring them home. Bring them home. Bring them home.
Bring them home. Yisrael Khan!
Thank you, everyone.
בבית קפה ומרגישים בתוך בועה מה לא עשינו, איפה טעינו, מה נשתנה יושבים בבית קפה אני מזמין עוגת גבינה מה לא עשינו, איפה טעינו, הלכה המדינה ואת בתוך הג'יפ שלך את שומעת סטריאו במונו בחוץ בשחור ולבן ואת בתוך הג'יפ שלך את לא פותחת רדיו את רואה שחבל לך על הזמן יושבים בבית קפה ומדברים על המצב מה לא עשינו, איפה טעינו ולמה עכשיו יושבים בבית קפה ומרגישים כמו בחול מה לא עשינו, איפה טעינו, תכף מבול ואת בתוך הג'יפ שלך את שומעת סטריאו ומונו בחוץ בשחור ולבן
I'm speaking to you from the single
ואת בתוך הג'יפ שלך את לא פותחת רדיו את רואה שחבל לך על הזמן ואת בתוך הטריפ שלך את קוראת לי רומאו אצלך זה סגריר ובחוץ יש שרב ואת בתוך הג'יפ שלך את לא שומעת רדיו את לא יודעת כמה רע לי עכשיו תל אביב זה די, כי אין רכב אותך. מוזיקה זה אני ואת, זהו איתך יכול להפסיק לשיר, כי זה לא כיף להתרגש לבד.
Thank you. We stand here in the tens of thousands today, and usually, even if you have 10 Jews, you have 10,000 opinions. But today, in the thousands, we stand as one to say, Am Yisrael Chai. The people of Israel live. I stand here short. I was a runner for 40 years, but tall for the almost 200 innocent citizens of Israel well, almost 200 Israeli children of Israel who are now orphaned, for the 240 innocent citizens of Israel still held in captivity by Hamas. I stand here for the kidnapped babies and the Holocaust survivors abducted and hidden somewhere in Gaza. We stand here together as the yahrzeit candles for over 1,400 slaughtered in the sovereign state of Israel only because they were Jews. Sound familiar? We know that to lose a life is to lose a universe. And as we stand shoulder to shoulder, we transform thousands of our yahrzeit candles into one supernova of light and hope, illuminating the memories of those we have lost and shedding light on the murderers who brought them to their death. We stand here firm against global anti-Semitism. We stand here firm in confrontation of anti-Semitism here in these United States. We stand here to say enough. Maspek, maspik. Our hearts also go out to the Palestinian people who have been used by and suffered at the hands of Hamas to further Hamas's savage agenda. We are now engaged in a battle reaching beyond any Arab fighting for a civilized world. We stand here knowing that the halls of and moral clarity and not places where Jewish students, Jewish faculty, or any minority feels outcast and afraid of being physically abused. We know college and university presidents, and the righteous one is here today from Dillard, but we know the college and university presidents, if you remain weak, if you remain silent, you are complicit. As Einstein said, the world will not be destroyed by those who do evil, but by those who watch them and do nothing. However, since October 7th, amidst the darkness, we've seen glimmers of light. World landmarks lit up in blue and white from New York to Miami, from Paris to Prague and Baku, showing our beloved and brave Israel that she does not stand alone. As Golda Meir, the most important person I've ever had the honor to play, wow, I think Golda may be here today. As Prime Minister Golda Meir said, some people love you and some people love you and show up. You show up. And that makes all the difference. Indeed, the people of Israel live. So breathe with me now and repeat with me 3 times. Am Yisrael Chai. Am Yisrael Chai. Chai. Thank you. God bless you.
Please welcome Van Jones.
You look beautiful. You look beautiful. Why am I here? Why am I here? I'm here because the horror and the terror that unfolded in Israel and Palestine have sent shockwaves far beyond their borders that affect and disrupt lives right here in the United States. Now, if you're not Jewish, you may not know this, But since October 7th, there has been literally an explosion of violence against Jewish people, attacks against Jewish people, horrific acts of hatred against Jewish people. The FBI says it's been unprecedented, 400% increase just in the past 3 weeks. If you don't know that, it's because your social media algorithm is not telling you that. And you might want to ask yourself why. But once you know, you cannot be silent. I don't want to be silent because the Jewish community stood with the civil rights movement. It stood with the civil rights movement. Walking arm in arm, facing death, going to jail, the Jewish community stood with the civil rights movement, and I cannot be silent when Jews fall under attack today. I just can't do it. And that's why I'm here. Now, whatever our different political beliefs and views are about what's happening overseas, you do not have to support all the policies of Israel to support and love and stand with all the people of Israel during a time of profound mourning. That's why I'm here. Now, like all of us, and as was just said, my heart breaks for all the Israeli children. My heart breaks for all the Palestinian children. And my heart breaks for all of the Jewish American children who are now also living in fear. I pray that every single hostage is released. I pray that. Bring them home. And I also pray that Hamas ends its reign of terror. I pray that. And I have to say, I'm a peace guy. I pray for peace. No more rockets from Gaza and no more bombs falling down on the people of Gaza. God protect the children. Let's end all the horror and all the heartbreak in the Holy Land. Let's end all of it. But I'll be honest in closing. When I think about what's happening over there, I don't feel powerful to do something about what's happening over there. What I do feel powerful is to maybe do something about what's happening here. Let's take a stand here against anti-Jewish bigotry. Let's take a stand against Muslims. Let's take a stand here against hatred. Let's take a stand here against hatred of all kinds. I don't want any Jewish mother to be afraid here to drop her baby off at the JCC. I don't want that. I don't want any Jewish son to be afraid to leave his dorm room and go to the Hillel Center for a meal. I don't want that. And I don't want any rabbi tonight to have to go and buy an extra can of white paint just to be able to paint over a swastika on a synagogue tomorrow morning here in the United States. I don't want that. And I definitely don't want any Jewish daughter, which I just learned, to change her name in her rideshare app because she's afraid for her driver to know that she is Jewish. That should not be happening here.
Please welcome Natan Sharansky.
Dear family, when small group of Soviet Jews started to fight to move to Israel, they challenged the most powerful empire, the most cruel dictatorship of those days. And that's why many people thought that their struggle, our struggle, is doomed. How can few men and women bring down the empire on their own? But the fact is that we never thought that we are alone. We knew that Jewish people and the state of Israel is with us. From the small demonstration initiated by 4 students at Columbia University in 1964 to the massive rally of 250,000 Jews just here in this place in 87, there were 3 generations of world Jewry who fought for our freedom. Many of your grandfathers fought for our freedom. Many of your parents fought for our freedom. Many of you fought for our freedom. And that's what made all the change. So, when in the long years in prison, I was told again and again that I am alone, that I'm abandoned, that we failed. It was enough for me simply to remember all those faces of Jews from America, from Britain, from Canada, who were coming to us, to Moscow, to support us, to understand that KGB is lying. Because you were bringing so much love and so much strength to us. This picture of one Jewish fighting family was always in my head. And that is why it was so clear that whatever will be my personal fate, the outcome of our struggle can be only our victory. This clearness and you know that there is only one outcome in this battle, our victory. But then we find out that there is another front in this war. And it's not in the tunnels of Gaza, not on the hills of Galil, but in Harvard, in Yale, in Penn, in Columbia, in all those places who are supposed to be the bastions of enlightenment and wisdom. And from these places we hear today the gleeful cheers of those who watch this most barbaric, awful pogrom in modern history and say that is liberation movement. They speak about democracy and they are ready to give away on the most and the only democratic country in in the Middle East. They speak about justice and they are ready to welcome the killers of babies. They speak about feminism and they are ready to welcome rapists of our girls. And dear friends, we together will fight against those who try to give legitimacy to Hamas. We'll fight for Israel. We'll fight for every Jew. We'll fight against anti-Semitism. We'll fight for the values and against corruption of those values which are in the center of our Jewish identity and American identity. And now look at those tens of thousands of students who came from Harvard and Yale and New York University and Penn and other places. You're not frightened. You're not silenced. Together, we'll win because we are one Jewish family. We defeated Soviet Union. We'll defeat our enemies today. And now I want to introduce two of these younger voices of modern fighting family, Michal Biton and Ariel Makhtar Zadeh. Please.
"44 years ago, my family and tens of thousands of Iranian Jews were forced to flee from the country they had called home for generations. In a moment's notice, their world turned upside down. Jewish leaders were falsely accused of espionage and executed in public squares. Jewish schools were targeted and closed. And Jewish families were forced to forfeit their homes and their businesses. 44 years ago, the Islamic Republic waged its war of terror and intimidation against the Iranian Jewish community. On October 7th, they waged that war against the international Jewish community. In the wake of the revolution, my family made the choiceless choice to leave behind everything they knew in pursuit of everything they dreamt could be. That I am standing here before you all today is beyond my parents' wildest dreams. It is also a manifestation of their greatest nightmare, that we still live in a world where Jews can be butchered in broad daylight as the world watches in silence. But my story is not unique. Our stories as Americans and as Jews may be written in different languages, but their arcs are one and the same. Our ancestors risked everything to reestablish themselves in America, a country they dreamed would be free of Jew hatred. Unfortunately, that dream has not yet been realized. However, one thing has changed. We no longer have to make the choiceless choice that our parents and grandparents did. We will not retreat or flee. Their sacrifice demands so much more of us. Thanks to this great nation, we don't have to resort to flight. We can fight with our voices, our votes, and our feet. And we will, because we know that the future of our country and the future of our people are inextricably intertwined. God bless America, and Am Yisrael Chai.
My name is Michal Biton. I stand here as a Latina immigrant and proud American to represent all those who know oppression. I represent my Argentinian community, still haunted by the AMIA bomb that tore us apart, that killed my best friend's father. Its terrorists never brought to justice. I represent my parents-in-law, Egyptian Jews, who fled Nasser's persecution in Egypt as stateless refugees and built new lives here. I represent my Brooklyn neighbors, Syrian Jews who were held as virtual prisoners in Aleppo and in Damascus, stuck for decades behind an iron curtain of hate. I stand here for all of us who remember that in every generation they stand up against us to destroy us. And for all of us who thank God that America and Israel changed the world and became our safe havens. We stand here united, proud as Americans who are going to fight back against terror, who will fight back against anti-Semitism everywhere, in our streets and in our universities. We stand here in support of Israelis whose fathers and mothers and brothers and sisters and sons and daughters and friends were murdered or taken captive. We stand here in support of our Israeli nation, who has stood up like a nation of lions, a nation of lions, to liberate Israeli and Palestinian children from the nightmare of Hamas. We stand here in the capital of this extraordinary country that has blessed us with freedom our ancestors could never have dreamed of. Here in this promised land that requires each and every one of us to pursue and expand freedom with all of our might. I stand here as a Jewish woman bearing 4,000 years of history from Abraham to my 4-year-old daughter. Proud of our people who will never ever give up hope. Proud of our people who will always seek to partner with others to heal our fractured world. I stand here as an immigrant to this country that I love and call my own, ready to join with anybody who has tasted the opposite of freedom and breathe new life into our great American dream. This is our calling. Our time is now. Our work is urgent. So let us fight with everything we have, with our voices, with our feet, with our votes, with our prayers. Let us fight together against hatred and for life. May the one above bless us with the courage and the strength to write a new chapter of peace and freedom in this nation, in Israel, and around the entire world.
Please welcome the chair of the Board of Trustees of the Jewish Federations of North America, Julie Platt.
Wow! I'm looking out at over 200,000 gathered here today. Thank you. Thank you for coming. Today, our thoughts are with the victims and survivors of October 7th, with the innocent Israeli and Palestinians suffering because of Hamas's terror, and with the families with empty seats at the dinner table. Today, our thoughts are with the brave soldiers of Israel's defense forces as they defend the state of Israel and the Jewish people. We thank the lone soldiers serving with such courage and all the families who must display courage every day. We also thank the first responders who have shown such incredible heroism. One of them is here with us today, Yossi Landau, Commander Zakai South. Today, our thoughts are with all the Jews around the world who have been the victims of anti-Semitic hate and violence. Most of all, today, our thoughts are with the Israeli people as they seek peace and security. I now have the tremendous honor of introducing our cherished friend and our collective hero. We know him, we trust him, we admire him, and we are filled with gratitude for his strong leadership. Friends, joining us live from the eternal capital of the state of Israel, Jerusalem, please welcome the President of Israel, Isaac Herzog.
Thank you, Julie. Shalom, friends, sisters and brothers. Achiotai ve'echai. I am speaking to you from the single most sacred site in the Jewish world, the Kotel, the Western Wall in Jerusalem. The Kotel that reminds us that Am Israel, we, the people of Israel, are eternal and no one will break us. From the Jewish symbol of fulfillment of our ancient dreams to the American symbols of freedom, liberty, and democracy. Thank you. Thank you, the hundreds of thousands who've gathered from all over the United States, all people of goodwill, friends from different communities, faiths, and denominations who've gathered today for this massive show of solidarity. In the state of Israel's darkest moment, you stood up and declared, Hineni, I am here. We are here. There's no greater and more just cause than this. Today, we come together as a family, one big mishpacha, to march for Israel, to march for the babies, the boys and girls, women and men viciously held hostage by Hamas. to march for the right of every Jew to live proudly and safely in America, in Israel, and all around the world. Above all, we come together to march for good over evil, for human morality over bloodthirst. We march for light over darkness. "80 years ago, Jews came out of Auschwitz and vowed never again. As the blue and white flag was hoisted over our ancient homeland, we vowed never again. 40 days ago, a terrorist army invaded the sovereign state of Israel and butchered hundreds upon hundreds of Israelis in the largest massacre since the Holocaust. Let us cry out together, never again, never again. Never again is now. The Hamas savagery and crimes against humanity bring to my mind, as President Biden has said, the worst rampages of ISIS. We, the people of Israel, are grateful to President Biden, his administration, and so many members of Congress on both sides of the aisle. The moral clarity and bold actions of our American allies demonstrate the depth of the U.S.-Israel alliance, which is stronger than ever before. Since October 7th, Israeli society and the Jewish people have truly come together in unison. We feel our hearts beat as one. We hear our brothers and sisters' blood crying out to us from the ground, Kol dmei achicha tzoakim elai min ha'adama. Once again in Jewish history, we demand, let our people go. Whilst our loved ones are held captive in Gaza and our soldiers are fighting our I salute you, the women and men who stand up to massive hatred and pressure in the community or on campus. Just as you stand with us, we stand with you. Dear brothers and sisters, dear friends, as President of the State of Israel, Medinat Israel, I vow to you from Jerusalem, from the Kotel, that we will heal, we will rise again, and we will rebuild. To paraphrase the prophet Zechariah, boys and girls shall once again play in the streets of Be'eri and Sderot, and the elderly shall sit peacefully by the walkways of Nachal Oz and Ofakim. And when the sounds of life and laughter return to the villages, the kibbutzim, and the cities, our constant yearning for peace will return as well. Together we pray for the safe return of our hostages. Together, we pray for the full recovery of the wounded. And together we pray for our beloved sons and daughters in the IDF. May God bless them and keep them. הקדוש ברוך הוא ישמור ויציל את חיילינו. Together we grieve and together we shall
אברהם ויעקב הוא יברך את חיילי צבא ההגנה לישראל הוא יברך את חיילי צבא ההגנה בישראל הוא יברך את חיילי צבא ההגנה לישראל העומדים על משמר ארצנו וערי אלוהינו מגבול הלבנון ועד מדבר מצרים ומן הים הגדול עד לבוא הערבה ביבשה באוויר ובים הוא יברך את חיילי צבא ההגנה לישראל הוא יברך את חיילי צבא ההגנה
as they seek peace, justice, and the safe return of our hostages. Jeffries. And representing the Senate Republican leadership, Senator Joni Ernst.
Thank you, everybody. We are here united, Democrat and Republican, House and Senate, to say we stand with Israel. We stand with Israel. We stand. We stand. We stand. We stand. We stand. Now, my friends, there are no words for the horror that happened 1 month ago in Israel. The most Jews killed in a single day since the Holocaust. It brings back much darker days. And let us not forget history. History shows that when the world ignored anti-Semitism in the last